nice and friendly, bright Club Dundee for Calum Rodger. Calum.
Thank you, Bruce, and thank you, Dundee, for having me. My name's Calum. I'm from the University of Glasgow, where I'm doing a PhD in Scottish literature, or as it's affectionately known in nationalist circles, propaganda. You see, without the kind of political structures to kind of devise our sense of national identity, it's always been up to the poets, novelists and artists of this country to do so for us. And surely there are none who have contributed so much to our sense of Scottishness as a certain Ayrshire poet. Any ideas who? Burns! Yes, thank you. Robert Burns. Rabbie, Rab, the great Scotch bard, Scotland's favourite son, the ploughman poet, Captain Caledonia, bardic rapscallion of the untamed north, Mr. Unit and poetry man, to name but a few of his richly endearing epithets. Now, in a bid to whip you all into a kind of nationalistic frenzy, I'm going to start my set tonight by reciting one of Burns' most famous, best loved, and at this time of year, most topical poems, addressed to a haggis. But Scotland has changed a lot since Burns' time, so I'm going to supplement the original Scots with an all-new English translation designed to stir your blood and bring fresh colour to this rich and historic debate. So, addressed to a haggis. Fair fire, your honest sonsy face, great chieftain o' the Purin race, aboon the may attack your place, painch, tripe or thairm, weel o' your wordy o' a grace as lang's my air. Fair and full is your honest plump face, master of all non-specific sub-premium meat products. No other non-specific sub-premium meat product compares to your tastiness, regardless of which part of the digestive system it has been harvested from. And so, you are most worthy of this poem, which is quite ridiculously long given the subject matter. And it really is quite long, so I'll just give you an excerpt tonight. The groaning trencher, there ye fill, your hurries like a distant hill, your pin would help to mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores the dews distill like amber bead. You fill the serving dish to the brim, and your arse looks like a hilltop in the distance. That little wooden stick could be used for major structural repairs, if I were hallucinating and there was nothing else to hand. While unidentifiable liquids ooze about you, resembling the whiskey that I've already drunk half a bottle of. His knife see rustic labour dight, and cut ye up with ready sleight, trenching your gushing entrails bright like ony ditch. And then, oh what a glorious sight, warm reeking, rich. Watch and marvel as a man, so drunk he could barely stand up, attempts to clean a knife, and then stabs at you wildly with the least of precision, eventually making a gash in your nondescript innards like a makeshift latrine in the woods. And then, oh what a glorious sight, the only thing in this godforsaken country that isn't absolutely Baltic. Okay, I'll skip to the end now. Ye powers what mak mankind your care and dish them out their bill of fare, old Scotland wants nae skinking ware that jops and luggies. But, if ye wish her grateful prayer, gie her a haggis. O gods, who watch over all humanity, and determine its fates and appetites, give to old Scotland no healthy and nutritious stuff that resembles something genuinely edible. But remember, we are proudly the, quote, sick man of Europe, unquote, and give us more haggis. So there you have it. As you can see, my translation was partly a riposte to Alex Salmond and the SNP, because quite frankly, I'm sick of them harping on about how sick we all are as an excuse for their Calvinistic licensing laws. Frankly, we're not sick, it's just the rest of Europe is on some mad health kick. Besides, we're good at it. Where else can you find a passion for binge drinking so great that you get government-sponsored adverts at bus stops on Sucky Hall Street in Glasgow that read simply, "Eating's not cheating." It is, by the way. It's definitely cheating. The best part was, the city responded within hours by using these adverts as a kind of ineffective receptacle for torrents and torrents of boozy puke. A puke, I could patriotically report, which contain no solids. And then there's the pies. Did you know that the distribution of Greggs in Glasgow is such that you can walk into any Greggs, buy a pie, start eating, walk in any direction, and you'll reach the next Greggs before you have finished your pie? I've actually developed a game where you have to get from one side of the city to the other, constantly masticating. Definitely masticating. It's great exercise. I'm actually trying to get it recognised as a sport in time for the Commonwealth Games next year. I call it the Partick Denniston Heartburn Shuffle. I don't know what it's like over here, but I did hear legendary tales of an all-night bakery, so I guess you guys are holding your own. But yeah, I think like the problem is like I don't want to see Scotland's future dominated by Salmon's nationalist hell kick. I mean, the fact is, maybe we're not just sick, we're pathologically fucked up. The Scottish mind is a kind of psychological quagmire from which scant few ever emerge. Unlike Salmon, however, I don't want to try and fix it. I think we should play to our strengths and celebrate it. You see, I don't want to see the future of Scotland left to the SNP and the nationalist health kick, nor do I want to leave it to the conceited bigotry of the right or the pedantic moralising of the left. And this is the other problem about the independence debate. Too many people think that a vote for independence is a vote for some kind of Orwellian nightmare in which our omniscient overlord Salmon watches over us with a celestial ski and do and a homemade tartan crown. So to counter these tendencies, I've made my own political party, entitled the Optimistic and Hedonistic Fucked Up Caledonian Collective Advocating Yes to Everything Party. Or, to give its abbreviated title, the Oh Fuck Aye Party. I should add that collective is spelt with a K, that's because we're so radical. So, to finish my set tonight, to try and get you all on board, I'd like to finish with a party political broadcast on behalf of the Oh Fuck Aye Party. Scotland is a funny land, its people quaint and mild, until we get to Friday night when things get awfully wild. There's something in the air, you see, that gets into our psyche. But that's just how it is round here. We take the rough with the spiky. Historically, our politics have never been much caught, but when the bevies flow in, there's no time for talking shop. And yet, this time next year, we have to make a big decision. I'd rather be in the boozer too, but wait, I have a vision. An independent Scotland with a rain of flows like whiskey. Just simply stick your tongue out. You'll be reeking in a jiffy. And after the rain and assaults our sky, a sozzled sun will shine. From Kelso up to Lerwick, we'll be towing the party lines. The pipes will play to banging beats, we'll dance into a frenzy, and we'll get rid of that voice of the ScotRail train that when you're trying to kip says, Lansing. Our chat won't be of Europe, but of landing on the moon, as Parliament reverberates to the chant of one more tune. And come the thistly morning in a tartan patchwork quilt, tending to our migraines and our Presbyterian guilt, we'll muse upon our country and, astounded by our bravery, we'll check the list for club nights, then nip out for a wee cheese pasty. So on the day of the referendum, let's all go on the pish. We'll head down to the polling booth and make a little wish. Which box to tick? Come on, I think you all already know. The only way to vote is here we fucking go. That's all for me, thank you very much.